host of the Gridiron.
The one thing is, yeah, a couple of years ago, boy, this dude was all over the frickin' field, boy, making tackles left and right all over the place. And then we bring Bowen in here. One of the things, I understand, you got your philosophies and all that stuff and everything. And I get it. But also, another thing is coaches is to put the players in the best position to be, successful, right? Now, he did miss time. He had his back injured, so I'm not sure if that's one of the things that maybe it's souring the Giants a little bit on him and all, but I mean, I'm reading this one article saying that like some of the higher up, the brass in the Giants organization is kind of like they're not sure if Okereke is still the kind of guy they want around or anything like that. I'm like, well, what did you bring the dude in here for? But I'm saying you can see with Wink, right? He had 143 tackles or something, or 49 tackles with Wink. Of course, the last season with Bowen, there was a little bit of a different story, right? I mean, Pinnock wasn't quite as good as he was the year before. Okereke wasn't quite as good as the year before. Bowen was all gung-ho and everything about bringing in Isaiah Simmons. Oh, well, he'll be the money backer. Oh, yeah. What game? I mean, Simmons was hardly even on the defensive field. Well, what, we brought him in here for what? I mean, all right. So, Mr. Okereke, New York Giants brass split on whether Bobby Okereke's value to his value is to the roster. Giants general manager Joe Schoen has approximately $50 million in available salary cap space to operate with this offseason and could be planning to create more through contract restructures and by releasing veterans who don't fit their vision any longer. So Okereke fit their vision, and like a year or so later, he says, nah. I mean, why'd you bring the dude in? One of those veterans could be inside linebacker Bobby Okereke, who's halfway through his 4-year, $40 million deal he signed in March of 2023. Now, we're paying the dude $10 million a year, and he goes out and gives you almost 150 tackles 2 years ago. I mean, I don't know. He's just not good. I don't know. Really? Yeah. It's been reported by Pat Leonard of the New York Daily News that there are members of the Giants organization who have soured on the 28-year-old former Indianapolis Colts star. Soured on him. There have been rumblings this offseason from January through the NFL Combine that some members of the Giants brass do not have a high opinion of the linebacker and captain Bobby Okereke's value to the roster entering the 2025 NFL season. What the did you bring the dude in here for? Giants have an out this offseason in which they can release Okereke and open up cap room over the next 2 seasons. Okereke is due $3 million roster bonus if he is on the 90-man roster on March 14th. So what is that? Wednesday? 10? What, Thursday? Thursday? Monday's the 10th, 11, 12. Friday. My bad. Friday. So the answer will come soon. Giants would eat $10.9 million in cap space for 2025 by cutting or trading Okereke, but they gained $3.5 million this year and $9 million next season per over the cap. Okereke is limited to 12 games in 2024 due to a back injury, though, which can be tricky, and was amply spelled by rookie Darius Muasau. Giants also have Micah McFadden and Deontay Johnson in the fold and may feel they can also use the draft and free agency to add inside linebackers to the roster if needed. Okereke had an excellent 2023 campaign under Wink Martindale. Now, 149 tackles. She had 2.5 sacks, 2 interceptions, 10 passes defensed, 4 forced fumbles, playing 100% of the defensive snaps. Since the Giants replaced Martindale with Shane Bowen, Leonard has observed that Okereke has been a less effective player and has been utilized differently. It just, I don't know. I mean, to me, I understand and I get it. No, I can understand, right? But it's, if I'm Dable, and I mean, and I'm going to Bowen, right? It's like, you know what? Should know middle linebacker we got there, Okereke. Just he's pretty good. You might want to maybe, can you like utilize him any differently so he gets some more tackles? Or see, this is one of the hugest differences, right? Is basically right of bringing in different people. I did this on a video, whatever it was, a week or so ago, whatever. Bringing in new GMs, new coaches, offensive, defensive, all this stuff, right? Because what they do, right? The new GM and the coach, they sit down, they look at the roster. They got 53 guys there, but not my guys. Bye-bye, right? Yeah, I'll keep 10 or 15 of them, but the rest of those guys, they're gone, right? So you bring in new guys and they get utilized differently. I mean, like Wink and Bowen, guys get utilized differently. 1 year, Okereke's, pretty effective. Next year, maybe not so much. 1 year Okereke for $10 million, and the dude makes almost 150 tackles. I'm talking about the bargain of the century there, right? Then the next year, he's making $10 million. I can't remember how many tackles he had. It was far less than 149. But it's like then the next year rolls in, you bring in a new defense, and it doesn't look the same. That's one of the biggest problems is with that constant turnover. And that's one of the things what Mr. Mara was kind of talking about. I mean, that's why he gave him like another season, right? With as much as some of us hate that and all that thing with Shane, they keep the consistency there. They say, because as soon as you bring in another GM or coach or whatever, right, they're just going to be like, I got my philosophy, how we're going to win. And out of these 53 guys, 40 of them ain't no good, so it's like, right. So that's huge. I mean, the turnover stuff. All right. All right. Where we at here? Bobby Okereke, surprise New York Giants cut candidate. So linebacker and defensive captain Bobby Okereke did not have the same impact for the Giants in 2024 as he did in 2023. Now, there's a report that Okereke might not have a full support within the organization. Pat Leonard of the Daily News wrote, there have been rumblings this offseason. I went over that the Giants brass do not have a high opinion of the linebacker and captain Okereke's value to the roster entering the 2025 NFL offseason. Let's see. Yes, in 2023, he had 11 tackles for loss. He had 6 quarterback hits, 2.5 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, 10 passes defensed, 149 tackles for $10 million. Okereke was also outspoken in support of then defensive coordinator Wink Martindale. With Shane Bowen far different than Martindale schematically taking over the defense in 2024, Okereke was not nearly as impactful. He also missed the final 5 games of the season due to a herniated disc in his back. So, and that's one of those things you never know. Okereke admitted during the season that Bowen's scheme was an adjustment for him. For over the cap, Okereke is due $3 million roster bonus this upcoming week. The Giants would cut or trade the 28-year-old. It figures they would do so before having to pay that bonus. Giants would take a $10 million cap hit this season, but they would save $3.5 million this year, salary cap. The Giants would plan to replace Okereke. Defensive captain is unknown. It would seem logical to try and find a way to get more production out of a good player and a good locker room presence who is in his prime. But if he doesn't fit what Bowen and the Giants want, then anything could happen. I mean, it just, anything's possible. But I mean, the one thing is, I mean, I mean, his strong suit obviously is getting to the ball and tackling it. One of the problems the Giants had was, I mean, sometimes their defensive line just gets gashed, right? So you need a good, I mean, they can certainly get somebody in the draft, but I mean, we have a lot of holes to fill, right? If you let Okereke go, now maybe, I mean, if you're going to let Sal, Deontay Johnson, and Micah McFadden be your inside linebackers, okay, but there's a little bit of a step down there. McFadden didn't do too bad last year, right? But I mean, you got to give Shane some credit there. That class that McFadden came in is not looking so wonderful right now. But McFadden was at the 4th or 5th round, wound up being a pretty good pick. Right, so and he had obviously had a very good draft last year. Let's see if he can do the same thing here. Maybe he can pick up another good inside linebacker in the 4th round or so. Right, I'm saying, but if you get rid of Okereke, okay, but you're still going to bring somebody in there without question. But I said, that's one of the biggest freaking things is that bringing new people in there. They bring in new people, bringing their own philosophies and all of that. And then basically it's like all the stuff that you got, the players that you got may not fit what they like to do schematically. And then, then you start letting them go. You sign them, and like a year or so later, you let them go. It's like, what the fuck are we doing?